So our title was Why Men Fear the Feeling Woman, but we're gonna just kind of explore it all over.
Yeah. Deep
What we
down.
actually mean by that, feminine, masculine, communion, relationships, the whole beautiful mix of it all, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Um, yeah, I feel like there's so many places we can go just based off
Yeah,
of
yeah.
our conversation prior.
Yeah.
I guess, you know what? We'll start with I'll start with what's been heavy on my heart the
Okay.
last and it's still fresh. It's still fresh where if I tap into it, like I actually get emotional and I can already feel it. Not
I
trying
say I have tissues, but of course it doesn't.
I don't have any here, but I'm gonna try my best to contain, but it is a fresh wound.
Gotcha.
Um, I have found the last couple of days, weeks, days and weeks, whew, like there is a fear that comes up when I'm around men now.
A fear for you in you or in them?
Fear of my safety.
Inside of you.
And it's been it's been weird. And I actually wanted to ask you if you've been feeling the same sort of thing because I have come to a conclusion of what this is. I introspect. I always,
Yeah, yeah.
dive deep. But mm, it's definitely a very new feeling. And it almost comes up with like every man that I almost interact with. And it's oh my god, it's not a good feeling because I'm always like, "Oh my god, do I need to keep myself self safe?" Like, be mindful about my surroundings and my safety, right? And I've been, like, really looking into that and being like, "Okay,
Mhm.
why is this coming up? This has never been this heightened, right?" Because if I'm honest, if I look back, like, women are always so hyper aware of their
Yeah,
surroundings. We just have to be, right?
yeah.
But it was more, I would say, like, subconscious. Um,
Mhm.
I was living downtown Toronto, and I had no issues walking around at, like, 2 in the morning as an 18-year-old, like, I had no issues. I was like, "I'm safe," right? But there was, like, a subconscious thing, right? Like, if I did see something, I'd be like I was smart about it, like, I'd cross the street or whatever. And, like, I would feel a little bit of that fear, but ultimately I was like I feel like I was just very much in my, like, masculine where I didn't really allow myself to feel that fear. And now that I'm diving deep, 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 deep in my feminine, this fear has been coming up. And it's very sensitive. And like it's scary. Like I've never felt this much fear in my life of being
Oh,
around
wow.
men. And then I was like, what the heck? Like, what's going on? And so, what intuitively was coming to me is because, like, I know I'm sensitive. I'm reclaiming that sensitivity, right? Women are
Right, right.
sensitive, right? Right. um, and I, I've been kind of, pondering like what's been happening, and I think, and what's been coming to me intuitively is like there's actually a lot of, grief, a lot of,
Mm.
sadness, disappointment, and rage, and anger towards men who have not protected us, who have mistreated us, who have abused us, and I was feeling I'm like, "Oh, like, this is not just mine." Like, it's
Right.
literally it's almost like oh my gosh, I'm just realizing it's like kind of like, the dark night of the soul and it's like all your wounding comes up. This is like, I guess, just another wound that's now coming up within me that I never allowed myself
Another
to
layer.
really
Mhm.
Yes, to really feel before, because guess what? I had to mask it up and go. I had to go forward. I had to keep going forward, and I never allowed myself to process whatever I went through in the past, right?
Mm,
And but like I was feeling that it's not just mine. I was actually feeling like that's the feminine consciousness.
yeah.
And I was feeling like basically like the ancestral line and just like the for all the women that have been done wrong, I'm like, "Oh my god, that's actually there." Like that energy, that wounding is there. And I was like feeling my stuff, but also there's like other women, right?
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
just it was like such a huge wave. And like literally I'm still processing it. I'm just like, "Oh my gosh, there's so much hurt." And it's funny because I have seen things online of like the right men being called into safe spaces where they hold that space for a woman who has really been abused, and she you could see she like breaks down in his arms because he's just like holding that safe space for her of like, I'm not like, yeah, you've been wronged, you've been hurt by other men, but I'm gonna hold you here. And it like completely rewires her
Yes, it
system,
does.
right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm curious if I don't know if Joy, you've been feeling like, cause
Well, yeah, when you were speaking, I was like, "Ah, she's speaking of the collective."
mhm,
I knew exactly what you were talking about. I mean, yes, it's more our own mixed in. For me, it's like a current, and I can't when I knew I was meant to start being in more relation with men, this is back in the spring, I got that intuitive understanding that, like, men are gonna start coming to you. And I think we talked about that on our last live, and I was just like, "What?" But I realized I was in that stream that you were talking about, and it was like, you in order to see them, you have to move out of this synergy. It's so
mhm.
interesting, over the weekend, I did I spent 7 hours straight just speaking aloud my own life story and, like, really just sitting with every trauma, good or bad,
Oof,
and a lot of them had to do with masculine and because 'cause I've had
of course.
abusive exes and stuff and childhood stuff and right? Some of them even weren't that big, but they it was still like a rejection or something, and
Or you could even
where
feel it energetically, right?
yeah, yeah, exactly, and yeah, just processing and crying, and then, like, I think it was, like, the next day, I had this, like, echo it felt like an echo of that just pure unsafe feeling, and I was in my room like I am now, alone, so obviously I knew I was safe, but
Yeah.
it was like a PTSD echo, which
Oh,
I have been diagnosed with, but I haven't had those in a long time, and I was just like, "Whoa," like, I know I'm safe, technically, right? But right now, my energy body is freaking out.
yeah.
And I had to sit with it, and I was like, "Ah, this is a memory of when my ex-husband would beat me and how unsafe I would felt." And so I just sat with that version of me, right? And I processed it, and my nervous system was reacting, so I
Mhm.
just put my hands on my heart and just did some deep and I was like, "I am s" and my sacral, and I was like, "I am safe. I am safe." And it literally did calm me down, but, like, um yeah, that's a thing, right? That's totally a thing, especially if it's like that is such a visceral, like, obviously unsafe environment, right? Um, Also, while you were talking, I had this memory pop up, so I guess I'll share it. I used to work at a cafe and a bookstore, and, it was pretty popular because it was right next to the movie theater, so people would come afterwards, and it was a busy night, like a Friday or Saturday night, and I was working in the cafe, so I was just constantly doing you know, taking money and making drinks, and this one man came up to buy a drink, and he's like, off-duty police officer, but I need you to know that there's a man sitting over there who has been staring at you for hours, and, like, I just need you to make sure that you don't walk when you go to your car, when you leave, have somebody walk by.
Ugh,
Like, I was so busy working, I'm not thinking about who's looking at me or you know what I mean?
but
And
such a gross feeling.
it is, right? Um, and then I don't know if, in general, men realize that that is what women deal with on the daily.
Oh
I
my
mean, even
lord.
at now I'm thinking about that job, it might have been that same lurker guy, just handing him his change back, the way he would touch my hand and stuff, and it was just small things like that where you're like, "That's a violation,
Uh.
right? I am handing you your change, there's nothing else going on."
Right, like, the hell are you thinking?
Like, this is not I'm not trying to hold your hand, I am trying to give you some change. But, yeah, that's our reality. That's our lived reality. That's why we are so in tune. It helps when we are so in tune with our bodies,
Um,
because that is how we know if we're safe or not. And like I said in the beginning, I have had these men come, and some come and go. Some were very catalytic, some stayed. And I cannot even tell you how freaking healing that was
oh,
to
yeah?
just be in their energy and be like, "Oh, oh, oh, this is that. Okay. Well, this is gorgeous. This is just gorgeous. I just wanna get
Thank
cozy in
God
this."
for those men. Like,
Right?
hallelujah.
But it would cry. I mean, it was like, "Oh, this is what I should have been looking and for all along." I just didn't even know it existed, right?
Yeah.
Because I was molested as a very young child. So it was like attention, male attention, especially to me as a child, that's not safe, right? That's what that taught me. And I was like 5 years old. So then it was like, I'm going to stay small. I'm going to stay quiet. I'm going to use this to create safety for myself. You can't. I mean, that
But
was
you know
my,
what, Joy? Just because, like, you brought up something really good. Yes, that teaches us not safety, but guess what pop culture teaches us? To accept those kind of things.
yeah,
It's in music videos, it's in songs. It's like, allow yourself to be treated like this by a man. And then so a young girl grows up. At first, she doesn't have a good experience and a good example at home. So she looks on into the like outside world. She looks at celebrities. She looks at, what they're doing. What they're doing is not how women should be treated. But yet that's what they're trying to program young girls to be degraded. And that's
yeah.
normal. That's how
Well,
you
it creates that discord inside of you, right? Because it doesn't feel good.
mm,
But yet you're told this is what you should want. And so it's like, but I don't want it. I mean, I do, but not like that. But
Right.
all I'm experiencing is that. So where I guess I'm wrong, that's where you go with it. Or maybe not everybody, but I guess
Yeah.
for a lot of us, right? And then you have to slowly
Unravel
rewire and
it.
relearn that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and realize, like, "Wait a minute. No, 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 no." Like, there are boundaries and, a type of, like, respect that is needed towards us to make us feel safe, right? And, I know that that's, like, I it's crazy how this is literally what the world is currently going through, like, it's everywhere. There's so many people talking about the dynamic and, like, how to help women feel safe and all, like, it's great. Like, this is literally what we're going through at this time. Like, I'm sure you're also seeing it, right? I mean, we're both living.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I'm in a place now where over this past year, just it was like a masterclass in learning boundaries and respecting my own energy and what I offer, and because I became very magnetic and they just showed up, right? And I mean, it was cool, but it was also intimidating, and it was like,
Yeah,
what is going on? But
I know.
it's it was what I needed to kind of have those experiences to help me, like, I'm giving this away too much. I need to step back and recenter. And it's after last Sunday's life review thing, it really feels like it's came into a sense of completion inside of me. It like solidified a little more. So it was really cool. But today it was brought up. I'm kind of switching gears here. More about communion, like when you find masculine, I should say, a more masculine leaning energy, right? Um, I've been diving into. I'm a huge sci-fi nerd. There's like space on my heart right there. Um, but like, um, I've been diving into just random physics that I love to explore, but I just can't seem to fully grasp it. It's like I can't pull it into my body where I know things 100%. It's like, we're living in the 60, 70%, and I know these concepts are fun and cool, but I just can't seem to figure out how to pull them into me. And it reminded me of science class growing up because that's how that class felt for me. Or learning a foreign language where you're like, kind of get it,
Yeah.
but it doesn't fully land.
Mm,
And I just started crying because I was like, man, that's how it feels talking to men a lot. They're telling me all these cool things, and I'm like, wow, that's really cool. I can't seem to let it land fully. And I was kind of like you're saying with your friend, I was like tapping into that ache of it. Like, just, I wish I'm willing to do whatever is needed to help this land. But I have, like I told you, I have these beautiful male friendships now where they stay, and I was talking to one of them, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm not like, we will stay and build this bridge because you're teaching me how to feel it in my body, and I'm teaching you how to have it
mm, mhm,
conceptually, and we're not actually missing each other.
mm.
We're just building it together, right?
Bridging
We're
it.
bridging it, yeah." And
Mm.
it's like, I know, but I think that before I even had those friendships, there was such that ache to do that with somebody even, right?
Like, just so I wanna make sure I understand, basically, you actually feeling safe in
Yeah.
this and the in return, he understands, like, how to do that? Is that what you're talking about?
Well, I'm not saying both of us understand each other perfectly, right? But there's not any, well, not, you know how I'm s I hope you haven't experienced it, but odds are you have, where there's dismissal
Oh,
of what you're saying,
yeah? Oh,
right?
yeah.
From either party, right? Where it's like, "I don't understand, so just fuck off," basically, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, or it's like or my thing is, like, I would say, like, it's like I'm talking to the wall.
Yeah, or they're just blank. It's just blank, and you're like, are you listening?
Yeah.
Or,
Are
like,
you
do
there?
you have thought?
Are you alive?
Um,
Like
can you express something? Do you need more time? Like, can I at least know this, right? And then it's just like,
yeah.
yeah. You just get a yeah or a uh-huh, and you're like, I don't know what that means. I don't know. I don't like, why can't we discuss this? And I've been going down. I revisit this a lot. Alison Armstrong, she does a beautiful job helping me and other people learn the masculine mind and the feminine mind. And so then, I mean, I understand now. Like maybe they need more time, but they never actually did come back to me and have that discussion. It was like an avoidance of that, right? Especially if it was conflict involved. Um,
Okay. So sorry, Joy. It
no,
just
you're okay.
this I know this was our original topic, and now you've just opened.
We've gotten there.
We've gotten there. Um, this is what I'm talking about. This
Mm,
is what I'm freaking talking about. So I'll start by saying, like, obviously right now I'm dealing with the fear, the my fear, the collective fear, the disappoint honestly, it's also just disappointment and sadness, right? That's what I'm going through right now. It's heavy. It's heavy. So let me just say, like, for all you men watching, like, I really want you to know, offering your woman safety, presence, and protection, like, you'll have her open up, you
yeah.
know? Um, and then you're doing an honor, truly,
Yeah.
to
Truly.
to her and the collective, the feminine collective, right? But, so few months, actually, it was almost a year ago, I kind of, like, I went out on a few dates, and I kinda did that more for me to see, like, who I was as a person, right?
Yeah.
Like, what do I still tolerate and what I don't, and I surprised myself. I'm like, "Damn, good job, girl. Good job. Good job. You don't fall for this anymore. Good job." Um, and, like, a lot of them were just, like, one date,
One
that's
day.
it. Because I was just like, "No, I don't accept this. I have
Yeah.
standards now, which if the rarest breed of man can, touch, great, I'm happy. That's what I'm calling in. I'm not, like, I consider myself a rare woman, like, but there I mentioned in the last one that we did, I kinda did, meet somebody a few months ago, which I was like, I thought, like, he was more aligned to me, like, truly, there were so many things I was like, but my intuition was like, "No, no, no, he can't meet you at your depths," and I was like, "Intuition, don't screw this up."
Your girl wants a gift.
I was just like, "Don't screw this up for me, like, don't do this." But, of course, my intuition, like,
It
but and
knows,
anyway,
obviously.
my point is, like, I've kind of touched on all these different men who are in different, like, points of their healing journey, right? Some are completely unaware still, some are kinda just starting, and the one that I was talking about, he was kind of like, I would say he was more aware, but he still wasn't there, and so I was, like, kind of reflecting all of that, I guess, 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I was like, "Oh my god, it literally doesn't matter where a man is in his healing journey, they're all petrified of real intimacy, real love. Every single one of them, and that's because they're blocked in the heart.
Mm.
Because when it came down to it, like, I mean, I felt those first couple guys that they were blocked in the heart. The guy that I was kinda, like, hoping, I was like, is he?" Like, yes, he was. He absolutely was, right? And I was like, "Oh my gosh, so this is actually what makes men avoid it, is because they see a magnetic woman, a woman who is conscious. She's like, Joy, like, when you're tapping into your feminine, like, we talk about it. It's a magnetism, right? And everybody wants your attention. Everybody. And it's not just men. Women are also like, "Oh, like, you know, uh,
Oh, yeah, you can sense it in other women. It's
yeah."
not just, yeah, I get you. Yeah.
And so men are drawn to that. They're like, "What is this woman have? Like, what there's something about her." And it's because she's mirroring. This is just like what I came to, like, my own conclusions is like, it's because she's mirroring all the things that he desires, of tapping into, deeply tapping into his heart, and like that intimacy, and just surrendering really to
It's
that
surrender.
yeah, to that experience. Like, there is, because again, I get a lot of men are more, like, controlling, like, they're focused, they gotta do it's very, structured, right?
Methodical.
Which I
Yes.
get. That's a beautiful thing, honestly, to a feminine woman, that is an awesome thing to come and just balance our flow out. But, obviously, on the opposite side of that, they crave that mystery, that flow, that intimacy, right? That deep, profound, like, actually deep, profound love.
Mhm.
But and what I was finding is as soon as they get a little taste of it, so they'll see like this woman, right? She's in her feminine, she's magnetic, she's glowing, whatever. They want to approach her to like, it's gonna sound dirty, but it's not meant to be dirty. Like to drink from her well, basically, right? Like they want a taste of it, right? And a lot of them are in this space of like they want to take but don't give, right? So they'll
Yeah.
come in, they'll taste a little bit of, her energy, her waters, and then as soon because what a conscious feminine woman will do, she will invite them into
Mhm.
deeper layers of themselves, which is for them, it's petrifying, it's scary, especially to a man who has not dealt with his own shadow work, who has not confronted the stuff that is sitting in his heart that blocks him from feeling that love, feeling that intimacy and surrendering, right? It's petrifying to him. So a lot of men will like they'll take a taste and then they're like, no, 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 this is too
They take a step back.
they run away, right? They avoid. And then obviously like they can keep doing that, but then ultimately if they're not ready, they'll just find an easy woman, right? A woman who also doesn't like she's blocked in the heart. She doesn't want to dive deep and it's like that typical mundane relationship when until one of those people eventually are like what are we doing? This isn't
Yeah.
it, right? So that's what I've been finding is that like men truly a lot of men no matter where they are in their journey, they're scared of that deep intimacy and love because they're scared of what it will reveal inside of them. But the thing is, a true initiated man, like, because I get that no matter where they are in their journey, they're going to feel that fear. But a true initiated man will feel the fear and dive into it.
Yeah.
They'll be like, okay, this is just an invitation for me to move into this, dive deeper, confront my stuff,
Lean in.
right?
Yeah.
Lean in, don't back away, lean in, especially because you guys crave it, but then you wanna run out, like, you're screwing yourselves over, you know?
Well, I'm realizing I've came to that same conclusion, and now literally today, so this is so timely,
Oh, okay.
I'm I'm seeing how it evolves, and I think for us who identify more feminine, leading, expressing anyway, um, it really asks for patience, so much patience, because we swim in that love, right?
Yeah, that's
It's
what we're
not
supposed to be
scary to
men.
us. It's
Yep.
not scary to us at all. So it's more like, why are you so freaking scared? um, but I understand they're gonna reveal things that will, bring out things in the same in me, right?
Yeah.
Like they might be like, well, why aren't you so you don't seem so structured? Why don't you name things and structure yourself? And it's like, oh, okay, that's rubbing me, but I'll sit with it, right? Because I'm an integrated woman, so that's what I do, right? I'm not gonna run away, but um, I guess I see it more as like you could do a spiral or like a DNA weaving, and it's just like let's give each other time, like I said, to build these bridges because I might just want to go full on Superman, right? Like rip it open. You're like, here you go, look at all this love, just beam it at you, man. That's literally knocks him over. It just
Yeah.
knocks him. I've totally done that. I've totally. I'm very messy about it all 'cause that's how I learn. But, now I'm like, "Oh, okay, I probably shouldn't just Superman them," you know? But, I just be in it, right?
Mhm.
And then, like, the ones to me, the ones who stay, that's how I word it. That's what it looks like to me. 'Cause
Yeah.
so many will come and, like you said, they'll get a taste and then they'll back away. And then maybe weeks later, they're coming back. And, yeah, it's just, it's but now I'm, like, seeing if the ones who stay, they're the leaning in, right? And I think this is for me, this is where community is going. It's
Mhm.
redefining relationships to me. Like, I when I enter a romantic container again, I don't wanna close off these friendships with these guys, right? Like I might have in the past. To me, that's not servicing anybody. It's you need to honor and whoever that future partner is, I'm gonna honor their connections too, right? Because we need this and community. This is to me, this is where it's slowly it feels new, but I'm sensing it's very ancient way of
Mhm.
working with each other.
I think, like, I hear what you're saying, Joy, but I think, it's important to work with, like, boundaries. Do you know what I
Oh,
mean?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, uh, like, I know for me, I can tell when someone, like a male friend is kinda like, "Maybe one day," type of thing. "Maybe one day," and I'm just like, no," I think there needs to be boundaries and kind of like I do we ever kinda lightly touch on, like, Mary Magdalene and stuff like that?
I don't think so.
Did you ever get into that?
No.
I highly recommend because, I am starting to believe in a sacred container.
Oh,
Sacred,
totally, totally.
sacred, like, I the stu like, I highly recommend for anybody to start getting into even men, um, like Mary Magdalene, there's a few books that, like, they're my Bible, you know? They're I was like, "Wha" like, when they describe, because I know Mary Magdalene in the church has been painted as a prostitute, which that's not it. That's not it. They were scared of her power, right? She was actually and, by the way, I'm not religious. I, like, completely, like, disregarded all that, but it actually started to come to me.
Mhm.
Like, these books started to come to me, and I wasn't even asking for them, but they started to come to me, and I was like, "Oh, I like this." I really this was, like, the feminine power that was like, "That's what I'm looking for. That's what I" and sacred partnership where I was like, "This
Yeah.
this exists?" That's what I that's what I
Well, I think what you're saying about boundaries, yeah, you have to set them if you're gonna be friends. Or to me, friends is a very surface word for it. I would call it more soul geometry, but or it's union that's not romantic. It's still intimate, right? It's very intimate, actually. It's vulnerability. It's you're doing all the things. You're just not romantic, you know, with it. For me, the sacred stuff would be the romantic one, where it goes even deeper. You're in there in person. Obviously, you're having sex. You're doing all the things, right? And it's extremely sacred.
Mhm,
And my whole messy self working with meeting these guys and each one was teaching me a boundary that I needed to slowly realize, I really desire this sacred that's what my soul wants. Not that I'm also here for communion and community, right? Um, but until this container is, met, which
Mm.
is completely the right word.
Mhm. Mm.
Um,
Fuse.
I'm still in the playground of learning
Yeah, yeah.
by doing this, and so as I would learn, oh, I need to have this boundary within myself or with them, I would name it, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
And be like, this is we tapped into this energy, but for me, that's sacred union thing. So I'm not going to engage in that anymore. I'm learning that's where I want to experience that, not in this. Okay, now, oh, you're showing me this. Okay, well, what do we want this to be between us? Right? This is how I'm feeling. I'm feeling platonic. You feel platonic? Okay, good. We're on the same page. Right? Because it can get confusing, you can feel all the potential. Your oracle self can see the potential, and,
Yeah.
I've gotten in trouble with that and clinging to that, we kind of talked about that, but, it's to me, let yourself be messy, man or woman,
Oh, a
and
absolutely.
it's learning, that's how you learn. Yeah, you could probably read books on all this, but the embodiment of it is doing it and setting it. And I know for me, it
Abs
was major lessons in boundaries because I did not have very many, and I
we
needed them.
learned,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. Now I'm thinking back to that male heart and needing that love because that's what you see with your oracle self, or at least for me, I can see what that love will do to them
Mhm.
before the transformation it will occur. And it's like,
Yep.
oh, I just want to Superman you and give it to you. Right? Like, of course, why not?
Yep.
I am love. Take it. But of course, like, it's just not.
But it's learning to you know what?
But I need
It's
to
fu
honor that was what the boundary was. I was
yeah.
like, that needs to be honored. This is sacred. This is not for everybody.
This is a portal.
Yes.
This is a but, like, it's funny because I absolutely resonate with you, Joy, like, I remember doing that in the past, being like, "Oh, I'm just gonna blast you with love." Now I'm like, "No, no, 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 no. No, 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 no."
Like, you're gonna see Clark Kent for now.
Like, I I have I have worked so hard to bring myself back into here. Because granted, through all my experiences that I've been through, of course, even though I would say I'm a very, like, empathetic, compassionate, loving person naturally, I still had blockages around my heart because of all the things that I went through in the
Yeah,
past.
yeah.
And I have really like, I have reclaimed that. I This is the most precious thing to me. This reconnected my heart reconnected me to me
Mhm.
and to the divine. Like I literally I become so more sensitive and more intuitive. And even now when I do see a man's potential, I'm like, haha, that's an old me that would fall for it. I'm not falling for it for anymore. Are you going to show up? Are you going to rise up? Are you going to be there and like, yes, I can see your potential. Yes, I can love on you, but this is a little bit more like, I don't know if maybe guarded, but not in a bad way, more like,
No,
are
yeah.
you going to rise up? Are
You're
you going
honoring it.
Yes. They're like, "Can you honor this? Because if you can, then I'll invite you deeper into
Well,
it."
you won't Superman, but
Yeah, yeah. Slowly, slowly. It's more like, you know what I'd like
it's
to
a
think
striptease.
you know what I like to
As
think about?
analogy, as
Yes,
analogy.
yes, yes, yes. Um, you know what I like to think about the heart as? Like, obviously, throughout our experiences through different things, I feel like for a lot of us, we're walking around with, like, this little closed bud, right?
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
the heart in actuality is this the most beautiful, multi-layered, petaled flower that you slowly open one,
Yeah.
and then you open and it's like it's very slow, but it's beautiful, and it's like you think you get to the end like, you think that there's an end. Oh, there's no end. There's no that like,
Because
'cause
it's
I
multidimensional.
Yes, because I've experienced this with myself. I'm like, every time I was hit with love with myself, I was like, "Okay, that's the deepest level," and then the divine's like, "Haha, we'll show you the next level," right? And it got to a point where I was like, "Oh my god, I don't think I can take any more of this love." Like, it's beautiful, but it's like there's only so much our physical bodies can take, and so I've
Yeah.
realized it's like there's all these deep, beautiful levels. And yeah, women are, I would say, braver to dive into it because to dive into your heart is to go through the darkness, is to go through the shadows, is through to go through the pain. You have to, right? And I feel like just women are braver to do that. And for men, it like terrifies them,
Well,
unless,
I feel like they do it quietly. Like, the ones that I've known who do it, then it's very internal process. Not that it isn't for us as well, we're just more verbal about it, I think. And, and it creates the magnetism. Um, so it has this external flavor to it. Um, I could be wrong, because obviously I'm not a man, but from what I've seen, it's like, no, the ones who are doing the ones that really are on that path they are I mean, the way they go about it is intense. I mean, because I mean, it's so focused and it's like laser eyes on it. Why am I on a Superman today? But, but it's so gorgeous too. When you realize like, oh, he really looked at that. Holy shit. Okay.
really,
um,
I guess I have to meet somebody like that because most of the guys I've seen or been around have been like, "Let me let me taste. Let me get a
yeah.
taste of this," and then run the other way, and I'm like,
No, most do that. That's, I would say, the common response. But I don't know fully what I freaking went through this summer, but it started off like that, and then the ones that were doing the work started showing. I mean, it was quite a progression. And I've also used it as a mirror of like my own progression, right? Like,
yeah.
oh, these types of men are showing up now. Oh, okay. Um, who are doing this kind of stuff. This is being internal work.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
um, and no, they have such depth. They have such depth. But the problem is kind of go back to what I was talking about earlier is it's not always translatable to me. Because they have their own language for it, their own structure, and it doesn't quite match what for me, it's obviously intuitive, it's very somatic, and it's very
Mhm.
energetic. Those are like mix those, and that's my language, right? And also symbology. I have a lot of third eye visions, and so
Yeah.
it's symbology. Um, and they're coming at it with different language, so I can feel I'm using all of my stuff. I can sense that depth, and but when they explain it, it doesn't always land, and that's why I'm like, and that's why I need you to stay around in the fire with me. Let's rub each other, right? I'm not afraid of friction. I'm
Mhm.
really not. I'm leaning in, man. Can you lean into the friction, like,
Right.
as we do these petals and bloom?
Mhm.
And the
Mhm.
ones that are like, "Yeah, I wanna do that," like, I will lean into the friction, and it gets messy, right?
Of course. Yeah.
But we're both staying, and it even if we wobble, we're staying and we're weaving, and to me, that's just beautiful.
That is
Um,
beautiful because, yeah, like, see, I guess some people think, "Oh, it has to be a certain way, and it has to look
yeah,
perfect, and it has to feel perfect," and it's like, actually, we're all figuring this out, and it's going to be messy, but it's like, can you stay when it gets messy?
yeah,
Are you willing to lean in, right? And again, like,
and
oh
not
my god,
bypass.
right? And this is this is kind of like what it reminds me of, like, when we were talking a little bit in the beginning, Even with my friend, what she's going through now, most women can lean in. We want to. Like, we actually want to lean in into the mess and try and figure it out. But then there's the men who are like, they're not freaking there. There's these walls. They're like, no, they can't be invited in deeper. And then women eventually get to the point of like, okay, well, you're not willing to dance this dance with me, figure this out and go deeper and blah blah blah. So peace. I'm
Yeah.
leaving. It's not worth, you know, dealing like a lifetime with trying to talk to someone who just doesn't get it, who just doesn't lean in, who doesn't initiate themselves into this, you know? Like, it's crazy how many women are getting to this point. Like, the friend that I was talking about, she's not even like really into this type of work. A little bit, but
Yeah.
not really, right? Which is fine. Like, her and I connect on so many different things. Um, but it's funny because she's like, "I'm tired.
Yeah.
I'm tired." And so many women are tired. We're like,
Well, I
just
think from my own experience, I've reached out with several romantic relationships in the past, where I get tired, especially my last one, and you're doomed to repeat in another flavor, maybe, right? But, if you don't yeah, in another meat suit, if you don't, set those boundaries, right? Or do that inner work, and same for the men. I mean, if she's burnt out, there's a reason, right? And it's not just all him. It's obvious it's when things end like that, it's never one way. We all
oh,
know
yeah.
that, right? And it's all layered. There's not like this
Yeah.
one reason that they did, and it's just one simple thing, and that's it. No, that's never that's never the reason.
Yeah.
It's small things just piled up typically. Um,
Yeah.
or at least for women, that's how it's a slow, like
Oh, no, you're
death
right.
by a thousand cuts kind of a thing.
Absolutely.
Because we will just take it. Because we love so deep. And so and that's another, this whole thing for me was reframing and relensing how I even view love, because I grew up in the church. I write about this. I don't think it's published yet, but I have it scheduled and who knows when. But like, I was taught Jesus, others, yourself, right? So, and that was what was mirrored to me in my reality growing up was, you show love by just giving, and you just give and you give and you give, and you just take it. You take the pain because that is love, right? And then it's like, this don't feel very loving.
No.
I'm not getting anything back. Or the one I feel like I'm getting breadcrumbs when I'm making this whole fucking Thanksgiving dinner, right?
Yeah.
Um, so it was like, let's throw that lens away. That's not love. Now I gotta figure out what it is and and feel into it, and ooh, it has a completely different energy, right? It's obviously more beautiful, and it's less self-sacrificing, very much, because it's honoring itself, you
Yeah.
know?
Oh, absolutely. But see, that's what's taught, that you're being selfish. No, you're not. You need to pour your own cup first in order to then be able to fill everyone else's cup, and which women
Yeah,
usually do. Women are usually the ones that are always pouring into everybody else other than themselves, and then they get burnt out. They, start not looking great, right? Because it's like their life force energy is literally being depleted from them, when ultimately they actually should be prioritizing themselves, loving themselves, pouring their own cup, because from there, oh, that's where that abundance is, of like where they could like pour into here and
yeah,
there, because they replenish themselves first, right? But again, society taught us that, oh, that's selfish. You're self-centered. No, no,
yeah. It's a
You gotta
complete
love yourself first. Like, I actually believe that, like, you need to love yourself first in order to know what the hell love is
preaching.
and what and what you deserve, you know? Because
Yeah.
then you know how you like to be loved, you know? Instead of constantly waiting for somebody else to love you, and then you're like, "Wait a minute, I don't know if this feels right," or this is, and that obviously is the mess of this journey, but it does get to a point where it's like, "You know what? I've been loving all these other people, taking care of all these other people, right, as women, right? It's time for me." And I do feel like a lot of women do get to that point
Oh, yeah.
as women,
I think
right?
we are. I think we are.
Yeah.
But, it's deeper than just self-care and, like, putting on face
Oh,
masks
definitely,
and
yeah.
shit like that, right?
It's part of that, but yeah, it's deeper, deeper.
It's yeah, yeah. It's that might be an outward expression, but the inner work is realizing your capacity
Mhm.
and honoring it and setting that the framework or the boundaries around it, right?
Yeah.
It's okay to actually you're the one safeguarding that
Mhm.
portal, that well, right?
Yeah.
And until you find the container for it who's receptive
Yeah.
and willing to pour back,
Ugh,
you
yeah.
just keep it into yourself. Like it just
Yeah.
I'm dumping it on my own head. I'm just dumping it on
Absolutely, but you know what I like to call that, Joy? Is, like, your own inner masculine, your own inner
Yeah.
protector, your own inner, king in a way, right? Um, and that's actually it's interesting because that's what when I was tapping into that fear of, like, the feminine consciousness of disappointment, sadness, fear around men and what they've done to us, I also realized, I'm like, "Oh my gosh, this is, like, where we develop our own inner protector, um, our own inner masculine that comes out, and he has that sword, right,
Oh, yeah.
inside of us, like, but that translates into boundaries, into, like, I will not contort and bend myself in order to please you because I don't freaking know you, and you need to show me that you're gonna show up. Like, you need to prove to me that you can replace my inner masculine for me to completely, as you like to say, like, Superman them, right? Like, that's when that containment comes in because it's like my inner freaking king, emperor, whatever you wanna call it, it doesn't really matter, right? That masculine side of you is standing by your side with a sword of, like, "I will not give to prove myself to you. No, 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 no.
Yeah.
That's the other way around, men. That's the other way around. That's just the way it is. Like, it needs to be that way because of all the things that women have been through, you know? Um, and when I was talking, like, about this, it's interesting because this analogy came to me, and I feel like I need to say it for whatever reason, but I think it was like a week ago. This analogy came in, I was like, "Oh my gosh, I think this is what it means." Do you know, like, I'm sure you know the typical, like, Disney fairy tale of, like, you know how, like, the princess is stuck in a castle and there's that, dragon, right? And the prince comes and saves her, right? And, like, as little girls, like, that's literally what we are programmed also to be like,
Mhm.
"Oh, like, Prince Charming, come and get us," type of thing. I've realized that's actually an analogy for our own inner masculine,
Isn't that
that
beautiful?
we keep our feminine trapped, and a lot of us have kept our feminine trapped. And the dragon represents, like, the shadow work, right? In order to for that, like, masculine part of us to slay the dragon in a way, right? And then
Mm.
release the that inner goddess in us, right? That, like, it's actually us saving ourselves. It's us protecting ourselves. It's us. not anyone else. Like, women, like, do not allow a man to do this unless you see through consistent action that he's there. That
That
he's there.
stays, yeah,
Yes. Then you can
and
release
leans.
that sword. Yes. And you can release that sword to him. But that happens only through devotion, right?
This is I had a similar story come to me. I haven't wrote it down yet, but I'll share it. And at first, I was picturing it as myself as like this Sperry and one of my masculine friends as the dragon. But then, as I was playing with the story in my mind, it was like going down this labyrinth, and I realized, I'm the dragon. Because the little fairy character who would be me is like seeing the bones that this dragon ate, and like the carcasses. And then it was like, that's kind of gross. But then it was like, oh, that's me doing my inner work.
Yeah.
That's the dragon, like, and I'm seeing it. I'm putting light on it, right? I'm looking at it now. And yeah, when she gets down to the dragon, um, they're not scared of each other, right?
Mm.
Because you've done that and you've
Yeah.
walked the labyrinth, you've seen the skeletons, you've seen the pain, you've touched it with love, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You get to the dragon and you're like, "Oh my gosh, you're so beautiful. Let me hug you
I
and
love
kiss you."
you. Yeah.
Right? And then you can fly off. But it's to me that's a mythical way of explaining that union within yourself,
Yeah.
right? Of
Yeah.
dark and light, masculine, feminine, however you want to, left, right, whatever, right?
Yeah.
Logic and sensing, it doesn't, you can relabel it however you need, but I'll write it down eventually. It lives in
Yeah.
my brain, so it'll get on words at some point. But um, to me, when it comes to sacred union, both people, regardless of their sex, have to be in that state, right?
Yeah.
They have to come into union with their light and dark. And it won't work. It just won't work. You're gonna fall into some one of these
Ugh. Yeah.
traps, and you know that now. And it's a little, it's beautiful, but it's also humbling because you're like, oh, the dating pool just really shrunk on who I'm willing
Exactly.
to even go into this kind of container again. But I'm so secure in with myself now. I'm okay no matter how long it takes. That was where I got to. I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't have to be trying to reach for it or projecting. Like, no, I'm good. I'm
Yeah.
good. We talked about divine timing, right? When
Yeah.
it's time, it'll happen. And I'm not, reaching or searching or anything. I'm just ready. And
Yeah.
when they're ready,
Oh,
it'll happen.
that's a beautiful word because I totally agree with you, Joy, and I'm there too, where it's like I'm good. I've d I have gone through too much. I've done too much work on myself. I have come into inner union. I've tapped into the deepest wells of myself and my love by myself that I know I can access that, but, like, do I desire somebody to come in and, like,
Yeah.
where I can pass my sword to him? Absolutely, I desire that, and, just like you, I'm like, I know I'm ready, but I also know that that's going to find me, and I don't
Mhm.
have to desperately search for it. I don't have like, I just gotta stay in my own, container and, like,
Yeah.
my own boundaries, right? Of, like, "This is where I'm at. You like it? Great. You don't? There's the door." And, whereas before I would've like, that was more like in your shadow, feminine when because I've understood now what the distorted feminine looks like, and the distorted feminine is the one that desires attention, who does anything for a man. Doesn't matter, and he doesn't even have to do anything. She'll just freaking do it, right? She'll give of
Yeah.
herself without him, and it's like trying to convince him to choose her. That's actually the distorted and wounded feminine, right? Where she hasn't come into inner union, she hasn't felt her own love, she hasn't felt her own worth, so she's trying to get it from the outside. But that will always leave her more wrecked and
Yeah.
abused at the end.
Because you're like, "Please prove my worth to me."
Oh, yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
And, versus saying, "I know my worth,"
Mhm.
right? "I am it," right? That's cool. That's very different than, like, "Please reflect it back so I can see it."
Yeah.
That's to me, that's and it's so tender, even in that distortion, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
But, well, if he knows what he's doing, he'll be like, you need to you need to look at yourself." But if he doesn't, he might try to feel that, and then it hurts both people
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
because he's not gonna reflect it,
No. No.
and she's not gonna feel it. And then they're both gonna be like, all pain, no gain.
Yeah.
It's not funny, but
Which which honestly that is most relationships, right? Always trying to like get from one another, like prove to me that I'm worthy, prove to me that I'm loved and never first freaking looking within and realizing like the things that they are desiring, it first exists within,
yeah.
right? And but again, that is that like when you both come from, like, filled cups. Ooh, and, like, not like I have experienced it, but I can tap into that, and I'm just like, "Whoa, that's a next level thing." That's a next level type of relationship when both people have, like, these beautiful filled cups of and I'm not talking about anything external, by the way. If anyone's like, "Oh, what does that mean?" Like, fulfilling, career, blah, 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 blah. No, you can be working on those things. You don't need to have everything perfect on the
Right.
outside, but are you perfect and whole in the inside? Because when you are, it doesn't really matter what the hell is going on the outside.
No, that's so true. It
Yeah,
doesn't you don't have to be in any certain state. It's all about the internal state,
yeah.
and, that's true for pretty much anything. It has to start there. Yeah. No, I haven't experienced it romantically, but hey, the parts I have tasted, man, they're amazing. And, um, no, and it is reciprocated, and it's just love. It's very loving, and, yeah, like, the holding space and just being cared for like that and getting to do it. I think for me, of course, I wanna be transformed by someone's else's love, right? And I want them to want to be and, lean into being transformed by mine. And for me, the desire to give is so much stronger than to receive. But I've looked at my own self in multiple lenses, and I'm like, that's just how I'm wired in a way.
Mhm.
But other people might have a different orientation to that. But it's also learning that about yourself. I'm also leaning in. I have a very strike first kind of energy, like initiatory
Okay.
energy and spark. And it's not necessarily masculine, but it's not necessarily overtly feminine type
Like
too. But
like, what do you mean? Like, give an example, because
when something lights me up,
Mhm.
like I see, well, it's all in relation. So let me try to put words to all of this. So, okay, it'll get messy, but we're good at
It's
this.
okay. It's okay. We're here for the mess.
um, one, if I like today, I got an intuitive hit to ask one of my male friends, like, "Hey, when you talk about this, is it like this movie scene?" It was Interstellar.
Okay.
And I was like, should I say that? Or, is that me talking too much? And I was like, do I just fucking do it?
Yeah.
And I did, and he had a beautiful moment, and he felt seen, and it was gorgeous, right? Um, because I took that initiatory step, even though I
Uh-huh.
was like, maybe he's might be busy. And I'm like, no, just do it. Um, even with people who I knew on Substack, like I think I reached out to you, like, hey, I want to do a podcast with you, right? Doing that initiatory thing. And, now with other females, it might not come across as masculine or whatever,
No,
but
no.
to a man, it might be like, why is she in my DMs trying to talk to me? And then I get it myself, like, oh, am I supposed to be all a little misreceptive and like, just hold back? And it's a restraint of my own energy. And it's like, well, there's a way to go about it,
Mm.
right? And that would be the invitation. It's all in how I interact with my own, like use it instead of just being like, hey, I got an intuitive hit. You and I, we're connected. Let's get this ball rolling, Superman. You know, just pause. It's not. That's totally my energy, and for me, that is perfectly normal and fine. And if somebody did that to me, I'd be like, hell yeah, right? But that's me. So it's like, oh, let's word this in a way that's an invitation. That's
Mhm.
not Supermaning them, right? That's just like, oh, I see something's here. Do we want to explore this? Yes or no type of thing. Like,
Yeah.
do you resonating with this? Because I'm feeling it. And oh, well, that's a big messy way to learn how to embrace that about myself versus like, well, they have to come to me, and
Mhm.
it's kind of detangling that old, for me, that's a very feminine way, like, we are the receptors and we receive, and which we do, totally
Yeah.
do. And everybody's got both, right? But I don't know. Can you make sense of any of that?
No, no, I do because the funny thing is I'm actually very similar, Joy, like very,
Well, you and I.
yes. You can tell. I've always been a very, like, initiating, like, I freaking know and I go.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't ask questions, I ask questions later. And to be honest, I had to learn, um, throughout, like, my young life to kind of sometimes hold back because sometimes I would make very impulsive decisions where I'm like,
Mhm.
Alexandra, you should have thought about this a little bit, like just hold your horses. I know you want to like go and like, but hold your horses. But I think what you're describing is fine. Like I think that's a beautiful thing. That's just part of your nature. And that's the same with me. But I will tell you, Joy, for me, I don't do that to in dating anymore. Cause I actually used to do that in dating as well. I was very like, okay, like bam bam, like this. Like but I don't do that in dating anymore because what I want is a masculine man, and I know a masculine man will do that with me, and also that's what I'm trying to see, like, the consistency of, like, is he good in initiating stuff? Is he good like, that's kind of my it doesn't mean I won't ever do that. I probably will because again, it is my like a little bit more in my nature, but that I feel like I can only start to tap into that once I've really established like a container with somebody, right? Until then, no, no, no. Like I'm gonna be in like what I like to call it like I'm in my goddess energy. Like, yes, I wanna receive. I deserve to receive. I've been overgiving for a long period of time, and I just don't wanna overgive anymore to the wrong person, and so, like, it's funny, I told my friend, Joy, one of my friends who she's, like, into all of this stuff, and she's, like, one of, like, that soul family type of people, and I told her, I'm like, "Listen, the guy I end up with, good luck to him because he's gonna go through it. Like, I'm not making this easy. I am not making this easy at all. I don't care. I've been easy before. Now, no, no, no. And but I'm like, but that's how I will know that that's my man. That's how I will know. And I feel like all women actually should do this because in all honesty, in all honesty, um, if a man knows that you're it, he will go through the trenches. He will go through the fires. He will prove himself to be consistent in showing up for you. And if he's not, then I'm telling you, ladies, he is not it. You're contorting yourself. You are just trying in a way to have him like choose you, like doing things so that he can choose. Why? Why? When there are men out there who literally you will know. You'll
Yeah.
freaking know. It's like anything other than that is just not worth it, right? And so I know for me, I'm like, no, I rather put my like initiation, like those kind of moves into like collaborations or stuff like that, or even if like I'm talking to a friend that's the opposite sex or like like that kind of thing where I'm like, I know this energy isn't serious, but when it becomes serious and then see, she's only being receptive. That's it. That's it.
I'm still playing with it. I don't know. To me, dating is it looks so different now. Um, it's like I don't even know. I'm like still trying to figure it out. I don't even know if I will date, you know? Um, I feel like it'll come from blossom out of a friendship or something. Not friendship, a soul connection.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I don't want to waste my time.
Yeah. Not worth it.
I don't like, um, I want to see, if they can do that dance, that soul. I know it has to be a soul connection person.
Absolutely.
If I'm not feeling that, like you can be as cool as fuck, but like that's just not gonna happen, right? Like
Yeah. Yeah.
no, that's a minimum baseline. We need that level of depth,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Um, and we could play with it how we want, but you don't make that cut. I'm not your person, and I know it, and I'll straight up tell you to your face.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
But no, I'm still exploring the whole dating thing, and I was so messy about it with in this past year, just because for myself, it was all about learning to become centered or sovereign, however you want to put it, right?
Yeah.
And it was this kind of initiation into that. And I saw how I was just projecting romance because I wanted that,
Mm.
because I know I'm built for it. I know when I get it right, it's gonna be so freaking good, right? But
Yeah.
oh, I mean, I needed to experience all that. So, but even that wasn't dating,
Mm.
right? So I don't know. I don't. To me, it's all like a blank canvas. I'm not even sure what to write on because
That's okay. Yeah.
I don't want to talk to 20 guys online
Oh,
because that's how it is when you do online dating, right? If you're a
look.
female, you just get flooded with messages. And usually most of them are assholes that just want your body or something, right? And it's like, I don't want to dip into that anymore. So I don't know.
That's
Yeah,
okay.
I'm still exploring it. And right now, I'm just so, now that I'm like at this centered point and I'm so like really diving into astronaut of life and just exploring things and learning to speak and all
Good for you.
for me right now, even though I almost in a way crave that sacred union, it's still kind of off to the side. It's not the focus anymore. I'm the focus for myself. This right now is there. And I think I'm not in it yet, but I'm thinking even when I'm in it, it's going to stay like that. Or maybe it'll be like this. I don't know. But I'm still figuring it all out.
That's okay. And you're allowed to and you can, right? Like same thing when I went on those couple of dates, which was mostly like last year. And I kind of did a actually not many because I'm very like I'm also a very because I'm so sensitive, I just I can't entertain anything that's just not I can't. I can't
Yeah.
like I can't. I know myself, right? But I did like a little bit recently, but not, like, crazy, and it's funny because I did my last date, and I was like, "I'm done." I'm done. Like, I before I went on that date, I was like, "Yeah, this is gonna be my last one," in terms of, like, the online thing. Because I'm just like, I know myself, I can't. Like, I can't. Like, if
It
it's
doesn't
not
resonate anymore to do it that way, right?
no, and I know my energy, my work, my healing has become way too precious, and I'm just like, it's not worth it, and that's why for me, Joy, like, I have come to a place where I'm like, I am not gonna initiate stuff. Like, I can't. I'm not gonna do that used to be what I used to do, and not anymore. Like, I can't unless that container is, like, it's fused, it's there, it's solid, then, of course, like, both individuals can dance in that and figure their own thing out, right? Obviously, that's gonna be, like, I don't know, like, that's gonna be whenever that's gonna be, and I'm gonna figure that out, but, yeah, now I'm very, like, you come in correct or you leave. Like,
Mm.
that's my I know that can sound and be so, like, maybe off-putting, but to me, it's not because 'cause I'm just like, I've been been through it, where it's like, I know me, I know who I am, I know what I want, I know my boundaries, I just know, and I'm not willing to bend anymore. Not willing to bend, and the right person will get that, you know?
I think they will. Well, what I'm learning with these soul connections is, especially a new one, it has potential to take whatever shape it wants, whether it's romantic
Mm.
or not, right? And so I'm still fine maybe initiating that because I'm like, I feel like, uh, at least for now, this is where I'm playing, right?
That's fine.
But when it comes to romance, I think I'm more in line with you. I might be like, hey, I'm open to whatever. That's me. That includes the romance, right? If that's where it leads. But to me, he'll need to name it. That's
Yeah.
um And if he names it, then I can kinda be like, "Oh, yeah, I'm feeling this too," or like, no, that's not how I'm doing it this way," right?
Yeah.
And to me, when you're in those connections, you're not just talking, there's energy you're communicating with too, and if especially if both people know how to read energy, you can,
Mhm.
it's like you're having 2 different kind of conversations. So you're like, where does this energy between us wanna move? What shape are we here to work together to co-create? Are we and to support each other? Or are we here to walk our lives together and really like deep dive into the romance, into that sacred union? Like where's this shape taking?
Right.
And for me it's like, can I back off enough to let it form without trying to cling to it or
Yes.
force it in a direction because that's where I want it to go? And it's like, oh, I've totally done that, and it blew up, and ironically, they still stuck around, right? So I was like, "That's pretty cool." But,
Well, that's a good test. That's like a good, like, like, "Oh, you're here? Cool. Okay."
yeah,
Right?
yeah. Um, well, I don't know, that's where I'm at in it all, and I'm very excited for the Sacred Union stuff. Oh, man, I feel like I'm ready to go, but obviously, I don't know what I don't know either,
Mm.
and I know it's I'm hearing right around the corner, I'll take that.
I mean, hell, it can be. Yeah.
Right.
You know what, Joy? Like, I really do feel like 2025 has been a year of destruction, right?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, for a lot of us, and, I feel like moving into 2026, there's these, like, seedlings that are going to be sprouting, and that includes everything: love, job, career, everything, right? That like and I feel like they're starting now, to be honest. Right? I
Yeah.
don't cuz like I feel like the energy starts way before the physical, right? That's just always how it is, right? The potential of that energy is always there and then it kind of manifests in the physical. But yeah, I mean, definitely could be around the corner.
We'll take it. We'll take
Right? It's like, I'm ready to lay down my sword. No worries, I can pass that off. I've been carrying it for way too long type of thing, right?
it.
I get that. Truly, truly, but I don't like I've kept wanting to mention, and, like, again, I know you said you didn't really dive into, like, the whole Mary Magdalene thing, but there's one book that I feel like, at least for me, I know some other women as well, 'cause, this is kinda how I started hearing about this book, describes, like, the most beautiful sacred union. Um, it's called The Magdalene Manuscript.
Oh, I have heard of that.
Oh,
But
okay, I thought you said you read it. I was like, "Oh my god, it's such a" I oh my god, that book, I was it's like I'm like, "This is a holy scripture," so, like, I was like, "If this exists, that's what I want," type of thing.
yeah. Well, I wrote it down, so I will go investigate, but thank
It
you.
made me
Yeah.
cry a few times because I was like, "No," like,
Well,
I
if
just
let me ask you this, Alexandra. Do you I feel like whether male or female, just being in a soul, right? Just as a soul, all of us, we know that exists
Yeah.
on a deep level, and we want it. We all crave it on that deep level, and we go through life and we learn all the wrong things, and then we
Yeah.
deconstruct it all to even feel that, right?
Yeah.
I to me, I can't imagine anybody not having that
Desire.
desire at some at that it's a very deep one, like a very deep
Yeah.
soul desire to that's what it feels like to me.
Yeah.
And it's more how what level of honesty are you on on like if you want that or not, right? And as a female, one we're programmed to in a way almost to point ourselves towards romance and love in life, right? Or at least probably the way you and I grew up. Maybe that's shifting now a little bit, but so maybe we tap into that sooner. But that, to me, no, it's everybody, because you are fully seen,
Mhm.
right? You are fully met,
Mm.
with consistency and love, right?
Mm.
At a deep level. So yeah, I think I know, like, yeah, that's where I'm pointing towards, right? Um,
So no, so I was gonna say, did you have a question about like, do you think that everybody wants it or?
I don't really know what I was saying, if I
Oh,
was
okay,
asking a question.
okay, okay. That's fine, but I guess that's what I was kind of receiving from that is, yeah, I think we all want it, and I think we want it because, to be honest, a lot of us have not had a healthy example of it, and I do think that that's been done for a reason. I think, to destroy, like, the family unit was done for a reason, because then you're easy to control, you're easy to manipulate, you're easy to
Mhm.
sell to, right? So now it's literally like what I feel is like a lot of people are like these lost souls trying to understand like what it is that they're looking for and what they need and they're not realizing that first it exists within and then they do crave that like yeah, like you said, it's like to be fully seen and accepted by somebody else, right? Like, you have to do that within yourself first. Absolutely. You have to do that because if you can't accept yourself, how can you expect another person to, right? Um, but it's like once you get there, because like I have definitely got there,
Yeah.
and like then to be witnessed by another person, even in all your mess and everything, and then they're still like yes, absolutely. We I feel like we all crave that, which is why again, like kind of bringing this back around, it's like there's so many women who are just leaving mundane,
Mhm.
destructive, toxic relationships, and even the women who aren't fully like on this healing journey. Like I said, I have some friends who like little bit but not fully, right? Maybe they will eventually get more into it, I don't know. But they're even starting to be like, "What is this? What like what am I doing in this container if you're not willing to show up?" And so it's like, men, you guys listening, like if you're in a container with someone, if you're in a relationship with someone and you're not doing the work, I really feel like women are we're leaving. It's I was shocked to see how many relationships are just they're dissolving because they're just not willing to do the same damn dance anymore,
Yeah.
right?
No, totally. No, and yeah. I'm like, well, we already touched on that because if you don't look at it within yourself, you're gonna repeat it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, with that new flavor. But we already talked about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
no, it's well, they say there's like that loneliness epidemic with men because, right? We there's also culturally women don't need men for security or you know, pr- like monetary stuff, right? We're actually going to college more. There's more females with degrees now than men or something. I'm horrible with statistics. I can't give you, but I think that's out there. No. Um, so it's like, yeah, we're building that for ourselves, but it's also in a way it's a little skewed because if you as a female, if you go too far into that, you're not in your real
Yeah.
divine feminine, right? You're
Yeah.
being more
Yeah.
masculine, and it's good to make these accomplishments and stuff, but sorry, I'm seeing this comment.
Yeah, I know, I
That's
know. I
not
saw
what we're
it.
saying. That's not what we're
That's
saying.
not what we're saying. We want you to rise up and stand up. That's what we're saying. Heal. Wake up. That's what
Yeah. Well, right now we're talking about more surface level, very cultural, right?
that comment that just came in, that is true. I actually wanted to say that. I do believe that your feminine can fully come online, like, completely with a healthy masculine. Let's make that very clear. A healthy, embodied masculine. Abso-fucking-lutely, you know? Absolutely. Because before that comes in, we do have to play into both polarities and energies. If you're not there for us, then we have to develop that, right? So and I'm like literally women want nothing more but to lay down their sword, right? That masculine container. But that can only happen with absolutely. Absolutely. It takes a healthy embodied feminine as well, but a lot of women are waking up to that. We are.
Yeah. Yeah, we are. And the men are too. But like I said, it's not as loud, I don't think, for some reason.
It's honestly, women are like I've said this before, women are leading the way to this. Because if enough women hold their standards, and don't bend, don't contort, don't like get desperate just in order to have somebody. If we all freaking hold those standards up high, obviously men are gonna have to wake up. Like obviously, you know,
Yeah.
it's either like you rise up or we will do this thing without you. And yes, actually, our choice then would be like, yeah, we don't want to breed with you. And then what? It all stops.
Yeah. Oh, this is such a fun topic. But it's real. It's real. And I don't know, to me it's not overly talked about a lot, you know? Um, it's just we're all playing with it. We're all doing it in one way or another. But we're not fully having a discourse about it. So that's why I'm really glad we
Yeah.
did today. Yeah.
I don't know if my dog coming through?
Yeah, but that's okay. I can hear him in the background. It's okay.
Okay.
JD, I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, you're telling her what? That's okay. I'm reading the comments. I know
Yeah, I
that
know.
guy.
That's why I was replying to some of them because not
No, but yeah, no. Well, man or women, you need to know how to recognize if they are in that state or not, right?
yeah.
If you're a man and you're in your embodied state, you're gonna recognize. Well, you actually can recognize even if you're not, because when it'll be have that magnetism, right?
Yeah.
And that mystery, that allure, energetically.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
you, yeah. You're talking about my pointy crystal, JD. I don't know what that has to do with what we're talking about though, right now with this. Except, yeah, okay. Oh, we're gonna leave that be. But is there anything else we want to touch on about all of this, Alexandra? You
feel
think
like
we?
feel like it's complete. I know we touched on so many things, and I'm sure like on the journey of this, it's like we can. There's probably going to be more, which will.
Well, at some point, we're both gonna be in that container, and then we're gonna
Oh,
talk
that's
about
gonna be
that.
and like I'll just say, like, I know in that container, like when I finally come to it, I know it's gonna have its own challenges. I know
Oh
that. I
yeah.
know it's not gonna be smooth, but it's like that person also has to step up and rise up to the plate and, you know, face those challenges, right? So
Yeah. No, yeah, exactly, because that's what it
yeah.
contains. Well,
Um
this.
yeah, I feel like we should end because I actually have some
Okay, well, this was lovely. Thank you so much, and we'll do it again soon.
bye. Bye.